Joining me now to talk public safety and more, Republican Senate Assistant Majority Leader Karin Housley and DFL Senate Minority Leader Melissa López Franzen. Thank you for joining me. First of all, Senator Housley, you just heard no-knock warrants. The House is looking at amending the use or restricting the use. Several of your colleagues who are running for governor have said it needs to be looked at. What do Senate Republicans think at this point?
Thanks so much for having me, Mary. First of all, Amir Locke's death is a real tragedy, and my heart goes out to his family. And what we're looking into is more information. As more information comes to light about these no-knock warrants, and we'll get feedback from both the community and from law enforcement before making any changes. But we'll most definitely get input from both the community and the law enforcement. And with the arrest in Winona, of the man that the law enforcement was actually looking for, reminds us of just how important of a job that law enforcement does do, and how dangerous the job is that they do. So we will be talking to our police and peace officers and the communities to see what we should do about no-knock warrants.
Okay, Madam Minority Leader, what do you think? Are you supportive of the House language?
Well, Mary, in the Senate, we'll definitely take a look at no-knock warrants. It's a tragic death of Amir Locke that we all mourn. It should never happen. It should never happen again. And we need to take action. But I think it's not going to be just this issue. It's going to be a comprehensive look at how we tackle crime holistically, from retention and recruitment of law enforcement to training of police officers and peace officers, so they have the resources they need to keep us safe, but they also understand that we all need them to abide and be accountable as well when things go wrong. So we have to have a balance of that. We also need to make sure that families have what they need to be safe in the communities, no matter where they live.
Senator Housley, the legislature did pass several reforms to criminal justice, and there's another police shooting. Does that mean there needs to be more action? Is there a kind of a part two of addressing public safety, but also law enforcement reform?
Well, I think the number one issue is we need more cops on the street. You talk to Minneapolis, St. Paul, across the state, there is a real shortage of police officers in our communities. And we did propose our COPS bill, creating opportunities in public safety. And my bill specifically creates a program where we can entice people to sign up for this most respectable career. Police officers right now, their morale is so low. Every single day there's a front page story of how horrible they are, and they aren't. This is a real respectable, the hardest job out there, and they aren't getting the respect. So we put the bill out there for a public campaign. You have to excuse me, we're in caucus right now, and we're actually out at a restaurant outside of St. Paul, and I don't know if you're hearing Frank Sinatra in the background, but anyway, back to the crime. I'm a suburban mom, and I hear it every single day. There never used to be this fear when you leave your garage door open for 10 minutes, afraid somebody's going to carjack with your child in the back seat. We definitely have to encourage more police officers in our community, because we cannot have these crimes across our state, and especially in the metro.
Senator López Franzen, you're also a suburban mom, and you're hearing some of the same concerns. Is this a shared priority, and does this mean that a bill is going to get through in a bipartisan way?
Well, I'm a suburban mom. I'm also a daughter of a cop and a daughter-in-law of a cop as well in the western part of the state. So I understand what law enforcement does every day and keep us safe, and the sacrifices they make. I also understand that advertising for police and retention is not the only solution. In my district, I cover Edina. We had 3 carjackings in less than a month period. I talked to my chief even today. They have 4 openings out of a police force of 57, and they're recruiting. They're having some challenges, but certainly are able to recruit. It's not the same to talk about Minneapolis, where they have 190 openings. So not every department is having those same issues. So we need to talk to our law enforcement community and see what they need. But advertising, I don't think really supports the crime that we're seeing, the violence that we're seeing right now in our community, and we have to really get at the root of the issues.
So, if I can add to that, Mary, I'm so sorry. And Senator López Franzen is correct. This is just one part of the whole public safety bills that we're going to be rolling out. We have to get tough on repeat offenders. We can't have policies like eliminating bail or mandatory reducing sentences or dropping charges for not violent offenses and letting these criminals right back out on the street. That is a huge issue that we need to crack down on those policies to make sure these criminals aren't running free in our neighborhoods.
And Senator López Franzen, can you respond to that too? Are Democrats interested in also being tough on crime while also reforming law enforcement?
Again, I think we need to look at the root of the issues, and we know that a lot of the offenders right now are youth. What is happening to have those youth be, being out there and violent criminals? We need to make sure that we have places for youth intervention, which we've underfunded, programs that are proven strategies, and that's what we want to focus on, proven strategies to prevent crime from happening in the first place. Locking people up is not going to be the solution to ending crime, and we have to really understand that we want to eliminate crime to begin with, and that's what we will be focusing on in the Minnesota DFL Senate caucus.
And let's pivot to another issue before we run out of time. Unemployment insurance, there's a bill looming. There's bipartisan support. Is the legislature going to get this through and get it to the governor's desk? Senator Housley, yeah.
Absolutely. The governor wants to do it, and the Senate put their bill forward, and it passed through finance unanimously this week with every Republican and Democrat voting for it. This is money that we borrowed from the federal government to help Main Street employees when they were unemployed during COVID, stayed home, to help them keep food on their table. So we have to pay that back. We're only one of 10 states who hasn't paid it back yet. Every single day, there's $80,000 in interest that we're paying. So we've got to pay that back as soon as possible and get the governor to sign it by March 15th.
Okay, Senator López Franzen, clock's ticking on this. Do you think it'll get done in time?
Well, we passed a September deadline to pay frontline workers what we told them we were going to pay. So the clock is ticking there too. So I think we need to address both issues. They're both priorities, and we want to make sure that they both get funded.
So what's the prediction on when this passes, when it gets to the governor's desk? What do you two think?
I'm going to say in the next couple of weeks out of the Senate. I don't know about the House. I just hope the House doesn't make this political and ties it up with big spending proposal, because this is really, really important for these. That's my number one email and phone call from my small businesses. Are you going to make us be paying that unemployment insurance?
Okay.
Because we will go out of business.
Thank you. We're out of time. Appreciate it, senators.
Thanks.